With Amex Platinum,
Welcome to the Centurion Lounge.
you get access to the Centurion Lounge, so the sounds of vacation start before you get there. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withAmex.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
This is Optimal Work Daily. Business Secrets from a Cambodian Tuk-Tuk by Chris Guillebeau of chrisguillebeau.com. In Phnom Penh, Cambodia, I met Mr. Rhett, who held up a copy of my book to greet me at the arrivals area. Mr. Rhett, also known as just Rhett, is a professional tuk-tuk driver. The open-air taxis of Southeast Asia, tuk-tuks serve as an interesting introduction to life in the region, and I've had both good and bad experiences with them. 2 years ago in Bangladesh, I rode in a death trap tuk-tuk with a driver determined to provide me with a Formula One experience on the road to the Dhaka airport at 11 at night. To no avail, I kept yelling, "Please slow down," every time we rounded a corner or ducked in front of a sea of motorcycles. Almost an hour later, I arrived at my destination covered in sweat and shaking with fear. I survived, but aged at least a year in that 50-minute ride. But in Cambodia last weekend, and plenty of other places, all was well in tuk-tuk land, and I felt safe using them as my primary means of transport. In fact, I enjoyed my time with Mr. Rhett so much that I decided to learn more about the whole tuk-tuk industry. Tuk-tuk cha-ching. Informal surveys of expats and other drivers confirmed that most tuk-tuk drivers earn around $2 to $5 a day, but Mr. Rhett earns up to $50 a day in Phnom Penh, a princely sum in the world of Cambodian transport. How is this possible? It helps that Rhett speaks some English, although he learned on the job and didn't have access to any formal training. To understand more, I talked with Rhett off and on for 3 days as he drove me around the city last weekend. These are the business secrets of maxing out your income as a Cambodian entrepreneur. 1. Work smarter and harder. According to Mr. Rhett, and much first-hand observation, the average tuk-tuk driver is lazy. He spends his days sleeping, drinking tea, and playing cards. While it's nice that the tuk-tuk lifestyle allows for so much leisure time, multiple naps throughout the day are not conducive to getting paid. Rhett works hard, always staying busy, as he explained. He gave me his number and told me to call any time. "I will come to you right away," he said. A good work ethic is critical, but Rhett also learned to focus on foreigners who live in Phnom Penh, not the backpackers and other short-term travelers who come and go. The difference is important since it allows him to get paid for more trips and also earn referrals to other expats as his client list grows. 2. Diversify your income. Mr. Rhett has a banner on the back of his tuk-tuk for a local coffee shop. He is paid $7 a month to display the banner and a small commission for bringing foreign customers to the shop. Interestingly, despite the commission, he never tried to bring me to the shop. I took this as another good sign since he wasn't trying to push me on something I wasn't interested in. At the request of other clients, Rhett also arranges trustworthy taxi drivers to ferry passengers on longer distances, for which he also earns commissions. 3. Provide reassurance. No matter your business, you should think about the reasons why people will not hire you or buy what you sell. Then be sure to preemptively respond to those concerns. The concerns about riding in a tuk-tuk are A. Safety, and B. Trustworthiness. "I am a careful driver," Mr. Rhett told me when I first met him. And unlike my death wish driver in Dhaka, he really was. Furthermore, some tuk-tuk drivers are dishonest, cheating foreigners who don't know any better and lying about market rates. As you'd expect, Mr. Rhett isn't like that at all. He sometimes dropped me off without taking any payment at all, and other times told me to decide for myself what to pay. Being trustworthy and reliable goes a long way in Cambodia, just like everywhere else in the world. 4. Be reliable. If I had an appointment with Rhett, he would always be there. In fact, he was usually early. In almost every developing country in the world, people talk about Cambodian time, African time, or similar. But Rhett understood that Silk Air flights to Singapore and meetings in town operate on Western time, so I didn't feel the need to tell him to come any earlier than I really needed. If I told him to come at 4:30, I could walk outside at 4:25 and see him turning the tuk-tuk around the corner to park. 5. Get to know people and show initiative. Mr. Rhett was very friendly from the beginning. He asked when my return flight was and if he could take me back to the airport. I'm normally hesitant to answer questions like that, but I had a good feeling about Rhett, so I didn't mind telling him. This ensured he got paid twice for airport runs, a nice wage of $7 each time since the airport is a half hour out from the city. When we said goodbye, he asked me to tell anyone I knew about his service. I don't think he expected me to tell 50,000 people, but perhaps that's another lesson on where initiative can get you. Back to the airport. As we passed the King Pizza Burger Bubble Tea Restaurant and the Johnny Walker on the Rocks nightclub on the way back to the airport, I thought about the divide between people all over the world. Most people spend their time playing cards and drinking tea, while a smaller group of people like Rhett are hustling. Which group are you in? Then as I left Cambodia, I thought about how I could apply Rhett's lessons to my own business. I think I'm generally reliable, but how can I be even more reliable? Yes, I get paid from several different sources, but what else could I add? How can I show more initiative and creativity in the projects I'm building? These business secrets may sound very simple, but the point is, most tuk-tuk drivers in Cambodia don't implement them, so they make $2 to $5 a day, while Rhett earns 10 times that much. Not everything that refers to tuk-tuk drivers is universal, but I'm pretty sure that most of us could apply at least one lesson from Rhett to make real improvements in the work we produce. You just listened to the post titled Business Secrets from a Cambodian Tuk-Tuk by Chris Guillebeau of chrisguillebeau.com. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. We're all marveled at how quickly kids learn and that sense of wonderment they have while doing it. But as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. Well, if there's something you've been wanting to learn, know that therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder, because your back-to-school era can come at any age. And make no mistake, therapy is for everyone. Whether or not you've been through significant trauma, therapy can be a great tool for setting boundaries, learning new skills, and ultimately becoming the best version of yourself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/workdaily today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/workdaily. We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search. Match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging. 93% of employers agree. Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it filters out those incompatible applicants. So when you're hiring, the process is much faster, and you only have to consider applicants that are already likely to be a great fit. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/startup. So just go to Indeed.com/startup right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/startup. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. And thank you to Chris. He is a New York Times bestselling author and modern-day explorer. During a lifetime of self-employment that included a 4-year commitment as a volunteer executive in West Africa, he visited every country in the world, 193 in total, before his 35th birthday, which is, of course, a huge feat. His first book, The Art of Nonconformity, was translated into more than 30 languages, and his second book, The $100 Startup, was a New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller, selling more than 700,000 copies worldwide. His newest book, The Money Tree, is all about finding the fortune in your own backyard. You can also check out his daily podcast, Side Hustle School, which is downloaded more than 2 million times a month. So come by chrisguillebeau.com for a lot more, and I have that linked in this episode's description. And that's going to do it for today's episode. Hope you're having a happy middle of the week. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.